Joining us on the Fancast today, he had his return from a pretty long injury layoff in the seniors on the weekend. It's Jesse O'Brien. Welcome to the show, Jesse. Just how good was it to be back out there with the boys on the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. It was great, especially for Stakes 150th game. It was great to be back out there, and especially to have a win for his 150th was a great feeling.
Don't worry about Stakes, mate. We want to hear about you, Jesse. Mate, can you tell us how difficult has that past, I guess, 15 or 16 months been since you last played senior footy? It's been quite a journey. Yeah,
definitely. It's been a fairly long road to get back to the seniors, but I've been working really hard, especially in the reserves there, and been playing some pretty good footy there. So I think my form's been good enough to sort of give me a chance for the seniors there, and I thought I played my role on the weekend and was hopefully able to keep my position in the team.
How did you find out that you had been named in the team for St Kilda? Who told you, and what was your reaction initially?
I was at JB Hi-Fi actually at Carindale, so it was a bit of a weird call, but saw Adrian Fletcher buzzing me, so I've answered that, and he just said, you'll be in this weekend. You'll be playing sort of the half forward role there, and just gave me a bit of a spill about my role and stuff. So just had a quick chat at JB Hi-Fi there.
Didn't want to screen his call.
I didn't try not to get too excited at JB Hi-Fi. I would have got a few weird looks, but on the inside I was pretty happy to get the call up.
Can you just tell us about your role, Jesse? Obviously you said there, half forward was what you did against St Kilda. You're a midfielder by trade. Where do you sort of see yourself fitting in?
I think predominantly you've probably seen me more so on the half forward, but I think with just obviously the intensity in the game, I don't think on the weekend, obviously it's a big step up from the NEFL. I don't think probably need a couple of weeks to just get that AFL intensity back, and before I can maybe step into the midfield. But sort of speaking to Fletchy and a few of the coaches there, I think they're kind of keen to give me a little bit of a run through there. I don't think I'll be sort of a starting mid there, but I've really enjoyed playing the midfield in the reserves there, and I'm confident that I'm able to sort of play that role in the seniors.
I know there were plenty of fans who were really stoked with your return effort on Saturday night. I'm just wondering what the appraisal you've been given by the coaches about that game was and how they thought you went.
Speaking of Fletcher, he's pretty happy with my game. Obviously, the thing for me, what I sort of got brought into the team for, was more so work rate and defensive pressure. Obviously, been laying a lot of tackles and whatnot in the reserves, and as a half forward role, we've got to be working really hard. So that's basically what I was sort of going into the game. Obviously, I wasn't going into the game thinking I'm going to get best on or anything like that. I was just wanted to play my role. And I think, going through all my reviews and stuff, all the coaches seems pretty happy with how I went. Obviously, there's always stuff you got to work on week in, week out, but generally, if I can, play my role week in, week out, that could go a long way to me keeping my position in the team. And Adrian Fletcher, who's a forward line coach, was happy with the way I played my role, especially for first game back. I don't think they were expecting to kick 4 goals or anything like that, but just as I said, just defensive pressure, work rate, and get a couple shots on goals. Adrian thought was just a good return. So
Mate, you've obviously, your games have been, few and far between. You got out there again on Saturday night. Do you feel like you can mix it at AFL level? Do you think that'll take a while, or are you confident that you can make an impact at that level?
No, I definitely think I'm able to make an impact on there. It's probably sound like a broken record, but just, playing my role and stuff, I think will go a long way. And I think just with a bit more fitness and getting used to the match intensity, will go a long way, I think.
The last time you played before the St Kilda match was, if my record's right, the Freo match, round 3 of last year.
Yeah.
Was it an isolating time being out of the team for so long? Was there a sense of isolation, or was the culture, within the club, did that make you feel still really a part of the team all along?
Yeah, it's always going to be hard in rehab, but I think you sort of definitely bond with other players a lot more as well that are in rehab. You sort of get better friendships, I guess, through them because you're hanging out with sort of different people a bit each day. But the culture sort of is real good. We're a tight bunch group, so just always doing a lot of sort of stuff together. So I'd not once really felt not a part of the group. So we've got a great culture at the Lions here. So it's exciting times for us.
Jesse, I don't want this to sound too over dramatic or anything, but do you feel like you're playing with that desperation at the moment, like personally, that you're sort of playing for your future and you're trying to nail down that spot?
Yep, yeah, definitely. I think the way I've been sort of playing my footy in reserves has probably showed it a lot. Got 3 players in 5 weeks there, which has really helped me get back into the team in the reserves there. So I was sort of trying not to think about it. Obviously, out of contract at the end of the year here, but I try not to think about it too much and overthink it. But every time I sort of do go out, I know I'm sort of playing for my career and just try and have an impact as well as I can, and just want to make this my future.
You were drafted in 2009 and moved up to Brisbane from Adelaide. Do you feel really happy in Brisbane now, and it's the place you want to stay, hopefully for the long-term future?
Yeah, definitely. Really enjoying everything up here with the Lions. Yeah, as you can see, we've got some really good young players, and I think the next few years will be very interesting. I think we'll be very competitive. Hopefully, get a good run in the finals the next couple of years, and obviously I want to be part of that and really trying to play some good footy to secure another contract with this club, because I see it going places.
Mate, you obviously haven't sort of played too much in the seniors in the last 2 years, but do you feel like the team's improved this year, Jesse? It looks like finishing around a similar sort of number of wins to last year, and I think from the outside we see that there's a little bit of development there, and there's sort of talk of finals in the next year or two. Is that the curve you see it on at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've been a bit more competitive this year. I think last year we'd sort of, we'd win games or we'd sort of lose by pretty big, but I think this year we've been fairly competitive pretty much all the year. The younger boys come in, and there's been some good form in the reserves there, and people that have come in have really stepped up this year rather than sort of maybe last year. I think they sort of some of the younger players have come in and get a bit not know the role too well or whatnot, and just haven't had much of an impact. But I think this year, like the Sam Mays, is probably the standout one of that, who's definitely come in and just played his role, knows his role real well, and has had a big impact on senior footy in his first year.
Now, obviously, the club has a core nucleus of really young players who have, for the most part, moved from interstate. The homesickness speculation reared its ugly head again recently with Patrick Karnisis and the speculation there. I'm just wondering, being part of this young group of players, is homesickness a real thing that you guys ever talk about, or are you all, for the most part, quite settled up here?
I guess it's a big thing, especially for me, my first year, but the club are pretty good at, sort of, if you're feeling a bit homesick or whatnot, they'll allow you to go home and see your family, or try and organise a time where you can get your family up, spend a bit of time with you and watch your footy. So I think the club definitely have a lot of support in that area. But I think the best thing about Brisbane is, you sort of, everyone is from interstate, so, you don't really have any other mates apart from your footy mates here. I've got some really good friendships here, because if I was got drafted to an Adelaide club, you'd have your schoolmates and whatnot, but as well as your footy mates. But up here, most of the boys, there's only a few really from Queensland, so most of the boys, hang out with each other pretty much majority of the time. And I think that really given us a tight-knit group. Mate,
before we let you go, we better talk about this weekend. So you got Richmond. You've providing you hopefully keep your spot, which you should. Yep. Chance to play on the MCG. That must be a big, made a big thrill.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably nothing better. I've sort of played there a couple of times now, but really excited to hopefully get another crack this week, and can't wait to play out in the MCG. It's just it's a bit surreal, even though sort of Richmond will have a fair few more numbers than us. So hopefully we can get all the Lions supporters out there and cheer us on. So, but it's a bit surreal playing on the MCG.
Well, thanks for joining us on the Fancast today. All the best for the rest of the season. I think I speak on behalf of all fans when I say that you bring an extra element to the side that we'd love to see for many, many years to come. So I hope it all goes well, and all the best with it.
All right, thanks, Dom. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me. Cheers, Michael.
This week sees one of very few unfortunate clashes of the reserves and the seniors fixtures. The reserves are up against Markrabat at Dittmer Park, which is at Upper Markrabat. It's 1:30 on Saturday. The seniors do start against Richmond at the G 15 minutes later at 1:45. So, I mean, some will get along to support the reserves. They always do. I know,
and
personally.
They can sit there with their iPad or their iPhone and
exactly.
watch the seniors.
Well, there's every chance that the reserves match might be a a better result. The Tigers are in good form. They have just beaten the premiership favourites in Hawthorn.
Yep.
So it's hard to play them down. Also, you've got to realise this incredible stat that we've only beaten them once since the premiership years. So that's 8 losses, 1 draw and 1 win since 2004. Horrible record.
Odd statistics, aren't they? Just an odd set of statistics. Can never beat them at the Gabba, but we're not playing at the Gabba, so we can wash that one away. But going to be a tough journey again. You just mentioned they beat the premiership favourites last week, so red hot form, the Tigers, and all their fans, they've come out of the woodwork and they're supporting their team, and I'm sure MCG will have a huge crowd, and a rare chance for the Lions Victorian supporters to get out and support them, isn't it? So, and a pretty good time to go along too, because Brisbane's played very well in the last 6 or 8 weeks.
We'll be back next week to review that match. For now, that's all I've got time for on the Fancast. Bye.
See ya.